Okay, let me tell you the two things you just said right. They're true. First off, totally concur that um, the deals that I've seen recently for my students are old guys looking to get out. They're like,
Yep.
okay, you know what?
You
I'm
don't
going
need
to
to deal with all this.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with it anymore. Which is
Yep.
the best kind. Those are the type of stories that you build your career on. And the second thing that you said that you didn't say, but I'm going to tell you meant is you go directly to the owners. Like, just, you don't go looking for a broker and wait and hide behind him while he talks to that old guy. You go out there and you find those old guys, those unicorns yourself. And that's the key. And we're pounding that into our students all day. Is like, skip the broker. I mean, I remember, I mean, Anthony, I was around during the last crash, and it was very similar, very heady, very frothy in the sense that these brokers, their stuff didn't smell. They could do anything and they would make a ton of dough. And as soon as the market crashed, that guy's serving me my gin and tonic down at the country club. They're done. So we're back in that heyday where these brokers are just thinking that they control the show. Don't let them dictate your life, and stay away from that as best you can.
Yeah, and they treat you like it too. Right now, buyers are a dime a dozen. Like, they're everywhere. They don't need you. They don't need you. It's a game for the sellers, and they're going to get the numbers that they're looking for.
Great
and
point.
You're getting a lot of things that look just really questionable in terms of like asking prices and numbers and how they're positioning it. And the problem is, people will pay it. People will pay it.
Yeah.
Once it goes to market, people will pay it. And so if you want to find a deal, you have to go and find the people like that own the thing, cut out the middleman. Like, I'm a big proponent in all our businesses. This is why we're vertically integrated, is whoever's closest to the consumer wins.
Yeah.
Go straight to the source.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying, is you have to look at the owner as your customer. Your first sale in this business, your very first sale in this business is an accepted LOI. And once you get that, now you're in the game. And that means you've got to get out there to find those customers before anybody else does, and beat the competition to it.
And so the thing is, if you're going to go to this old guard, these people who control a lot of the inventory, recognize that they talk. They all know each other. Yes. It's the old boys and girls club. If you do somebody dirty, it's going to get around. It takes years to build a good reputation, seconds to destroy it. So if you're going to show up and you're going to play the game, make sure that you can do what you said you're going to do, because that goes a really long way with that crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, those guys, when I say, like, look for the 5s and 10s and the 20s, and well, I'm looking to buy 100 unit. Yeah, but you know what? Those guys who own 20s, you know what they also own? They own hundreds.
They own hundreds.
They know people that do. So just get out there and talk to the owners. That's the key.
The best conversation you can have is right after you close with one of these guys that have a lot, and you go to the closing table, say, hey, let me take you out for dinner. And at dinner, you say, so what else do you have?
Yeah.
And they go, I'm glad let's figure this out. One of the things is one of the guys that we talked to, he wants to exit his entire portfolio in a market that we want to enter into over the next 3 or 4 years. So we said, let's line it up. Let's look at when your exit events are coming up so that we can be prepared with the capital and ready to go, bring them into our operation. And so now we have the next 3 years of acquisitions lined up with him, simply because we said, what's next?
Yeah.
And we showed up and we did what we said.
I always tell people, teach my students about with the realtors, the brokers. When the broker shoots you down, or you lose a deal with a broker, you always ask this one question before you hang up: are you working on anything else that I can take a look at? And then I was like, oh yeah, I got this other thing. Hey, it doesn't cost you anything. Just ask that question, and you'll be surprised at what happens. And you're absolutely right. Say it to the owners too. The owners are the same way.
Life is a referral game. So if you're out there trying to raise capital for these 100, 200 unit, syndications and everything, your best source of future investors is coming from your current investors. Exactly. Hey, if you like this, if you think there's somebody else that could benefit, would you mind making an introduction? We'd love to meet them. Like that. That's gold right there.